Lammens, let's be honest, like, not many United fans could confidently say they'd heard of him before we were linked to him. And he's just come in and just been, he looks effortless at times.
He's on trajectory to be in the conversations for the Premier League signing of the season.
If they get knocked out, they could very well sack him the next morning, and Caretaker comes in right before United.
It's basically a civil war at Crystal Palace now.
The new stadium that Everton have got's magnificent. The only problem is it's an absolute ball ache to get out of.
Ahmad has struggled a little bit in the last two, and I just wonder if maybe also to send out a message to the rest of the squad as well, that if you play well as a sub, you'll start games.
If there was a Royal Rumble at United, who's winning the Royal Rumble? Yes, everybody, I'm rubbing my hands together. Welcome to another episode of the United People's Podcast. It's me, it's Nick, it's Dan. We're here after 6 games. 5 of them have been won. West Ham. Anyway, 10 unbeaten now, by the way. Not just under Carrick, but United are on the march. Was it a pretty game against Everton? No, not really. Everton made it as ugly as they possibly could have. I'm going to speak about the corners. I'm going to speak about Senny Lemons. I say I. We're all going to speak about Senny Lemons' man of the match performance. How good that goal from Sesko was. The counter-attack. Cunha's shithousery. The corners. The problems that you saw, again, in that game still. But the positives that you're definitely taking forward. Nick, how you doing, man? Nice to see you.
Yeah, good. Happy. What is it? 16 out of 18, right?
Jeez.
Can't complain.
No, you literally can't complain. Dan, you were at the game, mate. I knew a few lads who went as well. What was it? What was it like?
Yeah, it was good. Weird being in the home end.
What were you there, like balaclava up? It's like
a little bit, yeah. If anyone saw my Instagram story afterwards, I put the ninja emoji up with the United flag, the Yemen flag, because it felt like that. I had Scousers all around me, and when we scored, it was so hard not to celebrate. I just sort of had to go. Just say, darn it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, a great experience. The new stadium that Everton have got's magnificent. The only problem is it's an absolute ball ache to get out of. United can, because they've got the dock walls and they can't knock them down because the something to do with the council. So they can only go through a certain amount of exits, which are about that small. So there's a lot of things that United can learn from Everton's stadium when the new stadium obviously comes along, if it does.
Not sure it ever bloody will. I'm sure it will at some point, actually. Well, anyway, United got 100% record in that stadium, so I'm going to take that if we can keep that. But look, we all went into that game against Everton. I'd say we were confident that we could get a victory, but at the same time, you knew that Everton were going to try and stink out the gaff, which is pretty much how the game played, Nick. I would say a fair assessment of the first half was you had Everton, who had no intention of really coming out with the ball, of trying to play, and you had United, who had no invention. Like, we had plenty of it, couldn't really do much. And it was kind of a little bit similar to what we saw against West Ham in that sense.
Yeah, it was a massively frustrating first half, to be honest. Like you said, very similar to West Ham. The only thing I will say, the front four had been quite fluid up until this point anyway, but I feel like we saw another level to it where Ahmad was central at times. Bruno was actually quite wide, more than I'd really like him to be. I'd like him in those central areas a bit more and more involved. I didn't feel like he was getting on the ball in dangerous positions enough. But once again, I'll be honest, and this is a bit of a negative point of view, but we did just struggle to break them down. When they were in their low block, we didn't really create loads, and that is a concern again. Same thing from West Ham. I know West Ham, Sesko gets that goal when he does, but again, didn't really create much. Same kind of thing again in the first half, and it almost flipped in the second half.
Do you think from these like 2 games, like we all wanted Sesko to start, and we'll speak about Sesko in a bit. Like, Carrick's obviously got the results here, and they speak for themselves. I wouldn't say that sort of result that we saw against Everton, Senny having his performance of the season, us managing to survive 10, 12 corners and the Royal Rumbles that all happened, it probably wouldn't happen again. I imagine we'd probably concede. In that sort of scenario, one of them something would happen. Because I was watching every single corner through my fingers. I was like, oh, no. But he actually managed to survive it. I imagine that Sesko starts against Palace, and I think surely from a low block perspective, like Dan, I don't actually think in the first half, I don't really feel that it was a centre forward that was a problem. As Nick was describing there, we were kind of really a bit over fluid, if you want to call it that. Like, everybody was moving everywhere. There wasn't really anybody holding a central position to occupy Tarkowski or Branthwaite or Keane, in the middle. Surely in the next game, Carrick starts Sesko in when we go up against a low block.
Yeah, you'd think so, especially against Palace as well. They've got, a terrible record at the moment. We'll come on to them later. But for me, I thought it was a little bit of a missed opportunities, especially for the wingers and whoever was across that front line, because Everton had a makeshift right back in James Garner and a makeshift left back in Jared Branthwaite. I know they've both played there before, but
he played pretty well, James Garner, to be fair.
Yeah, and Branthwaite did all right against Ahmad, to be fair, in moments. That was a little bit of a missed opportunity to really get at them. And yeah, just a bit frustrated a little bit with the attack.
But anyway, negatives aside, let's get them out of the way. Let's talk about the good shit we saw in that game because, mate, Senny, my boy. I mean, he has to be, without a shadow of a doubt, the value Premier League signing of the season. I don't think there's going to be anybody that beats that. But he's on trajectory to be in the conversations for the Premier League signing of the season. Do you think that's fair, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go pound for pound, at this moment in time, he does what you said, value. But if you just talk, in terms of finances and what we've been able to get out of him, and also how much we've leveled up in that one position, like it's hilarious. And we were down bad with Onana. Like, let's just have it right. Like, we were quite down bad with Onana. He had so many mistakes in his game. We never saw the passing out the back that we were supposed to. But Lammens, let's be honest, like, not many United fans could confidently say they had heard of him before we were linked to him. And he's just come in and just been, he looks effortless at times. And you talk about those corners there, and it's so ugly, and I absolutely hate it. But the amount of times that he kind of just forced himself through to get a hand to it, to catch it, to punch it away, he was really, really good. And you're right, what you say about 10 corners conceded. Normally you concede one. I think it's like every 7 or 8 corners you concede, you'll concede at least one goal. So he was so key. And I also thought it was really nice that he had his performance on the day that Van der Sar was on Monday Night Football. That felt quite fitting.
That's a little bit of synergy there. A little bit of synergy. Carrick was really careful after the game because Van der Sar was on Monday Night Football, they were like, "Oh, can you see a little bit of Van der Sar and Senne Lemons?" He's like, "Look, I'm being very careful with the words I'm going to say here, but you can tell from Carrick that he's the confidence that Lemons is sort of exuding is really, it's reflecting on the team around him. Like those corner situations, man. Like the Premier League's got to change the rule next season. It's so damn ugly.
It's like a scrum in there.
Like, it's proper like League Two, like Accrington against Stockport, like 74th minute, and they're trying to chase a goal. That's when you would expect that sort of thing. But it's just a default play that now happens. Like the keepers need to be protected a little bit more. It feels like you can make quite a simple rule about how many opposition players, can be in the 6-yard box before the ball is kicked. And then when the ball is kicked, you can make your runs in, and it's just...
Need to get you at the FA, Sam.
No, we really don't, mate. Football's already in a bad enough place. I'm not going to take it any further down.
You see Cobby's story as well, that cracks me up, man.
Like, straight Royal Rumble.
It's so funny.
Straight Royal Rumble.
It's so good from him. I really like that. That's really good.
Which leads us to an important question, right? If there was a Royal Rumble at United, who's winning the Royal Rumble?
Oh, it's Harry Maguire all day long. It just is. Who's putting him?
Oh, was it getting Harry out?
I mean, like, Lemons might have a chance.
Yeah, he might just be like the Undertaker. I reckon Senny's a bit of Undertaker about
and Boomer's a little bit of a dark horse, I think. He could come in.
Nah, he's more like he's like a big batty Rey Mysterio. That's what he is. Heard it here first.
You know what? I'll give Leacher his flowers. He might have. You know what I mean?
Mate, he just comes bare knuckled. He just legitimately fight everyone. He wouldn't be a Royal Rumble. It would be bad. Anyways, we need to see that. So when United, if you want to have a Royal Rumble, yeah, we'll be there, man. We're back in Harry Maguire. Odds on. That's the real question. That's what we want to talk about here. But look, Senny, right? He's sort of exceeding expectations. It was his shining moment, his game, and like Dan, it was a game where. Man of the match was Senny Lemons, but it was Cunha who passed to Mbumo, who passed to Sesko for the winner. So there's all 4 of United signings stepped up to the mark in their own ways. And mate, that goal, I mean, we've been been waxing. I tell you what, it must have been class to watch that.
It was good because it was near the United fans, the away end. So when the ball hit the net from his shot, when it hit the net, you're like, oh, now that sounds great. And then he goes over to the fans, and they've just gone berserk in the corner, and all of the emotion together was brilliant. It's just a shame that I couldn't celebrate it.
Mate, I'll be honest, it's your fucking fault for sitting in the home end, right? You get no sympathy from me whatsoever. But that goal itself, it was 13 seconds from back to front. It was 3 passes. I didn't really know that Cunha had that sort of pass in his locker. Not really seen that much from Cunha. And like that was pure Mbeumo to know how to slow the game down, wait, and then mate, Sesko's pace was silly. Like I don't know which element of that, Nick, you want to pull out as the best part. It was just, as Carrick said after the game, like a perfect Manchester United counter-attacking goal.
Yeah, from all 3 of them. And I think even if you go right to the start of it, the Sesko pass into Shaw, just the awareness to just not try to control it or touch it when he knows he's got an Everton man on his back, but just to lay it off to Shaw. Cunha takes 1 touch and then the ball straight over the top. He didn't wait on it. He didn't take it slow. One touch and pass. And Mbeumo to slow it down. And then really importantly for Mbeumo, the pass is perfectly weighted so that Sesko can shoot in 1 touch. That's really good in itself as well. Sesko just took it in his stride to shoot. And it's really nice to see that kind of goal from Sesko because we haven't seen him be able to sort of just get going yet. We haven't been able to see his pace yet. This was the first time where we saw his pace properly at work and delivering end results. So it was a decisive moment from United. Like we've said, just sort of United DNA, that's what we're all about. Obviously, you want to see us creating a chance when it is a low block situation, but it's good to know that we are still a serious counter-attacking threat. No matter who comes and goes, we've always got that.
You've had like Mbeumo against City. You've had Sesko there against Everton. You've had Dorgu against Arsenal. You've had man, we've had some cracking goals under Carrick so far. And for Sesko, that's now 2 points that he gained against Fulham, 2 points that he's gained against Everton, a point that he's gained against West Ham, 3 very decisive goals. I think actually, statistically, let me run this by you, because I'm pretty sure that in 2026, he's actually got the best goals per minute ratio out of any striker in the Premier League who has scored 2 or more goals. I think it's a goal every 55 minutes in 2026 from Sesko. He's really not been playing much, but he's still got it's not even a smile on his face. I quite liked his celebration. His celebration was almost a bit angry, but not in a dicky sort of way. It was just, he was G'd up for it. When he came on, he was really committed. He was happy he delivered again. I saw Carl Anker do a little article speaking to Sesko in the mix zone, and he was like, yeah, he's not desperate to start. He's happy with how it's going in his first season. It's just, I suppose, that I don't think you can't I'm not going to use a double negative. You have to start him against Crystal Palace, right? Simply because if it was Newcastle on Sunday, you go, oh, well, there'd probably be space in behind, but Crystal Palace, they're going to, mate, it's basically a civil war at Crystal Palace now. We'll speak about that in a bit, but it is an opportunity to really put them to the sword. I really hope we take it. And, Sesko, I suppose, could be man of the match, but no, you've got to give it to Senne. But it's just, isn't it amazing how much of a difference it makes? Like the amount of times I've screamed this, we're finally bloody seeing it in action. You can follow the trajectory of a football club and their success by how well they do in the summer transfer window. And United have finally had one where we go like bullseye, 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 different. You can't really get different.
9 data,
mate. It's just been it's just been amazing.
I actually think sometimes the recruitment can honestly be more important than the gaffer. I really do, because look at what's happened with City and Pep. A lot of let's say their last 5, 6, 7, I don't know, however many signings haven't all gone to plan, and you see the results drop, even though the man in charge is still the same. So you're bang on. Sometimes the recruitment, I think anyway, can actually be more important than the manager.
Liverpool's a case in point, man. They won the league last year. They spent 400 mil. They definitely didn't get it right, and they look a significantly worse team. Like, it's just been weird. You're so used to at United for years. And this is sort of like we're all naturally pessimistic fans now after we haven't won a title in 13 years. Like, it's going to take a while to get this out of us. We've seen millions, billions wasted on crap transfers. And the most recent ones of like Sancho, Anthony and Højlund, they're all stinging us. We're doing it again, we're doing it again, we're doing it again. It's like when we signed Sesko, so many of us Well, like another 65
Yeah.
mil, and like just because there were a couple of similarities with Haaland in the fact that he was like a 21-year-old-ish striker who played across somewhere. Oh, it's just going to be another Haaland. It's like, well, no, calm the fuck down, because he definitely isn't. But they're different levels of signings. You've got the two Premier League proven ones who have worked out massively. You've got then, because you've got the Premier League proven ones, they can support younger ones like Sesko, who's had more time to adapt. Right? Let's be honest, he's kind of, I wouldn't say he's existed in the shadows so far, but it's been Mbumo taking centre stage, Cunha slow to start, then started getting his goal return and his involvement, and then he's stepped up quite a lot. And then it's allowed Sesko to sort of operate in the background a little bit, not be the main centre of attention. And it's allowed him to just progressively get better. And then Senny's the gem. Senny's the one that we're going to have to somehow repeat. It's the hardest one to repeat because you've plucked a player who was 18 mil, who by the end of his first season is probably going to be worth like 40 or 50. They're the ultimate signings. You know about finding the next believers. That's what we've done there. We found the next. I'm not going to say Van der Sar, but we found our number one, who is 23, lads. It's mad, isn't it? He does not act like a 23-year-old.
Those signings as well, they've come into the team and they've earned the place. We've not just given them the spot, or we've not just said to Mbumo, right, yeah, you can go on the right or you can go up top. He's earned his spot by playing well and showing up in big performances, in big games as well.
I'll tell you what, you just mentioned Mbumo there. Like Nick, we spoke about this after the last game. I saw it against Everton again. Can we stop the little Mbumo left wing experiment?
Yeah, I mean, like it was weird because he wasn't out there the whole time. It was quite interchangeable, but yeah, it doesn't really work. And this goes back to, I think, didn't we speak about a potential left wing signing in the summer on the last pod? Like, is a position that we're probably going to have to look to in the summer because we don't have a natural left winger at the moment. That's just plain and simple. We don't. Dorgu's not. He's kind of somewhere in between a left back and a left winger. Maybe we still don't know where his position is. Cunha wants to come inside. We don't have a natural winger on touchline winger who can take a man on 1v1, cut inside and make something happen. Go on, son.
You saying that, I think it's just interesting because like we were willing to spend 65 mil on Semenyo in January, who really isn't a touchline winger. He's basically another Cunha, but that's what we were willing to do.
Yeah, but he can. The thing is, though, with Semenyo is he can still get him. Like he will still take a man on and go to his left. Cunha's always going to come inside. I do think there's you can play Semenyo on the left a lot more naturally than you could a Cunha. He will still give you width and he will still give you pace down that side. Whereas Cunha, you kind of know what he wants to do every single time. Can still be effective, don't get me wrong, but he's just not a left winger. Whereas Semenyo is, you'd say.
Fair enough. Well, we spoke about it. You could look at like Diamande. You can look at Ndiaye, who was again, he was Everton's most dangerous player, but I think United did quite well when it comes to defending the box. Let's be honest, that's kind of how we won that game. Box defending and how Lammens, how commanding he was.
Yeah, credit Maguire a lot in that as well. He was really good.
Yeah, for sure. I think I saw something, somebody said it on Twitter, and I thought it actually made a lot of sense. Like a few years ago, maybe even at the point of when we signed Onana, the key aspect of whether a keeper was suitable for the Premier League in the modern game was how good is he at playing out from the back with the ball. You know, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted from Onana, right? It's almost like you look at a goalkeeper now and you go, how much can they properly command their sort of 12-yard box or six, you know what I mean? Their area. That's more important,
development.
a characteristic of a good goalkeeper now than playing out from the back with the ball. It feels like the game's changed a bit. And that, I mean, Senny is also good at playing out from the back with the ball. Good on his left, good on his right foot. But it's probably the thing that's surprised me the most in a good sense is just how commanding he is. I didn't think it would be as just dominant as he is. And mate, there were so many players around. It was like hard to even see a way through for him, let alone get an actual punch on it. And he didn't spoon any punch either. Nuts.
Yeah, there isn't really an area of his game where you say that's his weakness. You know, I feel like not every keeper we've had, but Onana, it was his shot stopping. De Gea, it was his distribution. Lemons, it kind of just feels like he's got the basics like down to a T. Like he's fine doing it all. We're gonna probably come to find out what element of his game he will excel in years to come. Because even in that, I'm not sure where it is yet. Because it's so general. He's so good at everything. But yeah, there's no weakness to his game, and also the confidence that he's got right now is not surprising, but like the maturity and confidence that he's shown, that's impressed me as well. Because to come to United, 23 years old, knowing what's happened with Onana, it's a lot of pressure. I mean, Delo said it, right? Where he said, 3 toughest jobs in the world, Man United manager, keeper, and striker. So under the pressure, he's not folded once. And he's kept, in the last 6, we've kept 3 clean sheets in the last 6, right?
Yeah, it was City, Spurs, and now I think that was our first away clean sheet.
Right.
But
he deserves that.
Third clean sheet.
Yeah, he does.
Mate, I think we've lost 2 out of 21 games that he's been in goal for.
Wow.
I don't know whether I'm making that one up. I think it's that.
That's
I think
mental.
that, mate, it's great. Well done, Senny. You deserve all the praise in the world. You know what I love as well? Mate, Cunha absolutely giving it large to James Garner. Come on. I don't know why I saw anybody trying to say that was a bad thing. Like, we did a video on Cunha ahead of this season and saying that there's one characteristic that we need to get back into our players. It's that they have to be ready to be hated. And instead of it being a bad thing, it's actually energy for you. It's like the unofficial motto of our football club. It's not actually official, is it? Hated.
Well,
adored,
they use
never
it on
ignored,
the
right?
Instagram bio, so I presume so.
Well, there you go. It's like the unofficial motto of our entire football club is you're going to be hated by like a shit ton of people. You'll be adored by millions, but like you're never going to be ignored. And there's been too many players at this club over the years because of the scrutiny that you get on social media that have been too scared to be in the spotlight for the wrong reasons, so they've shied away from any sort of spotlight. Nah, I don't want. I'll pass it to you. You take the responsibility. I'm not fucking dealing with that. Cunha, he's like, bring on, man. All right, hate me. I don't care if you hate me. In fact, I'd rather you hate me because I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to scream in your face. Shithousery. Everyone loves a shithouse as long as he's yours.
Yeah, perfect example being Bruno. The amount of hate Bruno was getting yesterday. I mean, it's every game, isn't it? With away fans, home fans, wherever we're playing, they just don't like him. But if they'd have him in their team, they'd adore him like we do, 100%.
Hey, when it comes to Bruno, when it comes to Cunha as well, it's like a lot of the hate is going to come because bloody hell, he's good at football. Oh, damn it, that's what you want players and fans to hate you for, and more of it from Cunha. It's just that the right mentality, the right attitude, and it's infectious. And for Carrick, Nick, it's 6 games in, it's 5 wins, it's 16 from 18. We're 3 points behind Villa now. We play Villa in 3 weeks. We've got Palace, then Newcastle. That'll be sticky, and then we've got Villa. So you never know. By the time that we have a conversation 3 weeks' time, we might be above Villa in the table.
Yeah, I mean, what's that? So in his 2 tenures at United so far, that's 9 games now, and he's undefeated. And in amongst that, like, he's come up against some serious managers. He's off to an absolute like flying start. This is better than what any of us could have imagined when he first came in. Probably better than what he could have imagined when he first took the job. So it's a really, really good audition for the permanent role in the summer if he gets it. So it kind of it feels like right now. I mean, the low block games are the ones that we've been worried about. 2 of those have come, 4 points, haven't lost. Aston Villa and Newcastle sounds like it's, and don't get me wrong, I hate going to Newcastle. That's never a game for us. But if Bruno Guimaraes ain't there, listen, Newcastle don't win games when Bruno Guimaraes isn't on the pitch. So I'm kind of just looking at it.
Is he injured?
He is injured, yeah. He's injured at the moment. I think he might still be injured when we play them as well. That's a bit.
I'm going to that.
It'd be a real shame.
Are
It'd be
you?
a real shame.
All the way up to Newcastle.
Are you in the home or away ends?
I'm in the away end this time.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Mate,
Don't you worry.
I did that trip years ago. Me and my mate, we drove up. Sod knows where. We ended up staying in like some lorry car park. I remember we were watching Avengers on like the back of it because he nicked his. I didn't nick his parents' car, but he borrowed his parents' car.
He nicked it.
One of those like space, and he didn't nick it. Actually, he didn't nick it. Watching like Avengers on like a space cruiser and waking up in a sleeping bag. And I remember we went to like some it wasn't a Weatherspoons, but it was a pub. I had the biggest meal of my damn life before. I just thought I was ordering a normal meal. I was like, wow, I know why all this big up here now. Anyway, that was the game where we won 3-0. Cleverly ended up scoring from a cross. I think, was it Johnny Evans who scored a header? Can't remember, was it?
What's that, like 2011 the time? Sorry?
11, 12, 13, one of those. Anyway, 1-3-0, and I was sat in the home end, right underneath the away end, and it was naff. You couldn't do a thing. But I hope you have a good trip. Sod that. On a Wednesday night, 8:15.
Commitment.
Fair play. Mate, Newcastle's a mad one as well because mate, like, you're in the sky. You know what I mean? Like,
is it a northeast thing?
so
Sunderland as well. They put you in the top tier or tier 2.
Yeah.
It's like, what did they do?
Mate, it is far from the pitch. With the risk of sounding overconfident, it feels like a good time to play Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. We had the tough game away, and we managed to win at Selhurst Park for the first time in a good long time. That's 3 grounds we've done that at this season: Anfield, Emirates, and Selhurst Park. Nick, what would you expect from Glasnow's Palace on Sunday? Because from the outside looking in, it feels like a little bit of a civil war there right now. It feels like they kind of want to boot Glasnow out before the end of the season. It feels like the players have lost all faith in him. It feels like the fans have lost all faith in Glasnow. Like, surely they're ready for the pumping.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason why Glasgow is still in a job is because they think that he could potentially get him to a trophy with the Conference League. I think because I just look at it and I'm like, well, what other reason is there for keeping him? Because obviously he's won the Europa League with Frankfurt. He won the FA Cup with them last year, so he's got a bit of pedigree in cup competitions. But yeah, I mean, like, they're in trouble, and my only worry is that if they get knocked out, because they play on Thursday in the Conference League, if they get knocked out, they could very well sack him the next morning, and caretaker comes in right before United. So I hope that doesn't happen. But it's going to be a much of the same in terms of what we face with Everton and West Ham. It's going to be a lot of the same. When they do get the ball, they will be very direct and vertical, and if you can win it back in their first phase of attack, then they're vulnerable. I think when they gave away the penalty to Wolves, it comes from a situation where they win it back, try to go quickly, lose it, and then they're vulnerable and they give away the penalty. So that's where you can hurt them. But United are going to have to be really imaginative in this one. Quick 1-2 touch passes. Like we said earlier, maybe this is the game for Sesko, but well, he's been so good off the bench that you're kind of like, I don't know. But yeah.
Are you starting him? Are you starting Sesko in this game?
You know what? And I hate even saying this because I love this player so much, but Ahmad has struggled a little bit in the last 2. And I just wonder if maybe this is the game where, because Sesko has been good, you give him the deserved start. Also to send out a message to the rest of the squad as well that if you play well as a sub, you'll start games. So maybe that is the change to make.
Mate, I think look, if you've got 3 positions up front and you've got 4 players in Ahmad and Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko, someone's going to be disappointed. Ahmad's got the nod so far, and he's got the belief of the manager and everything. But right now, Sesko is a man firing in form. He's delivered every time, and I actually think you should always choose your 11. Personally, I think you should always choose your 11 on momentum, on form, because it's the X factor in football. It doesn't really matter how good you are if you're bang out of form. You can't then. But if you're in the sort of form that Sesko's in, I suppose the question, Dan, would be, can Sesko deliver in the same sort of way from the start compared to off the bench? But I think he deserves the opportunity to prove that against Palace.
Yeah, he deserves a chance at least. I think on Sky commentary they said something about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a bit of a super sub link, but he has got the capabilities and he's shown at RB Leipzig what he can do. Obviously, Premier League's a different ball game, but actually starting right from kickoff, I think he could give them a little bit of a shock. I've seen he started against Chelsea. The flick onto Mbeumo when we won 2-1. Just periods in the game like that where you need him. You can go long, you can play it in behind. We know his pace now. We've clearly seen it against Everton. So the different elements to his game against this Palace side and that Palace back 3 can definitely get at.
Just on that as well, like we went direct to Mbeumo, I think 7 times against Everton, and he wasn't able to win any one of those.
Yeah, it was
obviously.
Annoying me, man. I was like, why? It's like, can you stop sending it long to? He's up against fucking Tarkowski and Keane. He's obviously not going to win it.
Yeah, I think maybe again, like trying to win the second balls. That's probably what was like. Everton always going to win that first one. Can you win the second one? You know what though? What I will say, we haven't even really mentioned this, but Lisandro Martinez being out was a huge miss. His line breaking passes, you really felt it from them. And we tried to build out the back with Yoro quite a lot to make up for it, and he was struggling to get it out the back quite a bit. So it's going to be the same again against Palace in terms of we're really going to miss those line-breaking passes, because Bruno not being able to get on the ball and him going out wide, I also think was because it wasn't getting through to him centrally. So he's gone out wide to try and get on the ball from Yoro a bit more. So again, that's going to be a big miss with Lisandro Martinez. But Yoro defensively, I thought was okay.
Yeah, I thought defensively he was good. I was a little bit surprised it was Maguire left centre back, but I suppose that was just to make Yoro a little bit more comfortable playing right centre-back, although he did play left centre-back when he first started in his first season at United. We may as well go straight to the predictions then. Dan, I'm going to come to you first. Do you think we're going to make it 6 wins and 1 draw in his first 7 games?
I think we do. I think it's another clean sheet as well. Palace have got 2 wins of the last 10 in the Premier League. So
yeah, give me some more stats like this, Dan. Give me
some more.
I want to get hypey. I want to know shit.
So Palace currently sit 13th in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, that's good. More
about them struggling. I highly doubt they'll get knocked out in the Conference League, but if they do, it's against the team that I can't pronounce the name of. Strurinski.
Try and pronounce it.
There you go. So if anyone knows the actual name and I butchered it there, let us know in the comments. And Mateta's only scored 8 goals this season.
Can I ask you, are they playing away on Thursday?
They're at home.
That's a wee shame.
We're still going to have more energy in our legs compared to them, though. Oh, that's a good sign. That's good.
Are you full of confidence?
I might match Dan, I like 2-0. 2-0 sounds good. I don't know, but like Palace aren't really scoring a lot of goals. I know Strand Larson started really well, but they created a bit against Wolves, not a huge amount. Jeremy Pino can be a bit of a threat. They got Sarr as well, to be fair. You know what, actually, I'm going to change it. I lied. I'm going to go I think they might score.
He's spoken himself into a 2-1.
You know what? Nah, still
Talked himself straight out of that.
We're still going to win by 2, so I'll go 3-1 United.
Sarr is quite dangerous, but it just feels like this Palace team is...
Yeah, deflated.
Mate, it must just be such a shit dressing room right now. You know your manager's leaving. You know your fans have all turned against your manager that was winning the FA Cup last season. That the dopamine hit that they had from last season to go into what's happened this season is a hell of a drop-off. I'm going to go for a 4-1 United. Sod it. I'm going 4-1. I'm going tasty. I'm going for a 4-1. We did 4-2 against Brighton, who's apparently Palace's rivals. Questionable. So I'm going to... sod that. Same result. 4-2.
He's talked himself into giving Palace another goal.
Should I change mine as well?
Convince yourself. I don't know. I'm going to go for a 4-2, going for a mad one. This United team, I think we've seen different sorts of games under Carrick, different sorts of wins. I thought that's what the Everton game was. It was a different sort of performance. Largely, pretty ugly, I'll be honest. I think, again, another low block, a lack of ingenuity in attack from everybody, really. Bruno, Ahmad, Mbumo, Cunha. That last ball, just wasn't there. We weren't swinging the ball in the box enough. We didn't have anybody in the box. But Sesko provided the moment, and Senne was unbeatable. So those two things combined, we won 1-0. We should be able to create more against Palace. Nick, you're saying there about winning the ball back in the first phase. Do you think that means that United might do a high press?
We should do a high press. I absolutely think. Because, like I said, they play very direct, vertical, risky passes. They don't play it safe when they get the ball.
And we look better, I remember, in that second half away at Palace when we actually pressed them in comparison to that first half, which was like 0.01 XG. It was dire.
Oh, mate, that Xerxes goal. Woo, that one.
And the song as well that came with it. I've not heard it since, but...
It's because you've not seen him since. Poor lad. Anyway, right, so we've got a 4-2, we've got a 2-0 and a 3-1. That sounds like a victory to me. I hope you're right, boys. But look, we'll be back after the Palace game. So I hope you enjoyed the pod. If you did enjoy the pod, and why wouldn't you? United right now, mate, it's 16 from 18. We are the informed team in the Prem. If you did enjoy it, please leave a 5-star review, subscribe wherever you're listening to it, and we'll see you after the next one.